Hello, Judy Beck and everyone in the California Wellness Foundation. Thank you so much for letting us introduce our innovation program.
I'm Hina Agarwal.
I'm Christian John Arello, or CJ for short,
I'm Denny Lamb.
I'm Melina Raygoza.
And I'm Melina Sanchez.
and we are Future Growth, a nonprofit organization here at San Jose. Our mission is to pass on the tools and resources for the future young generation to have a growth mindset towards their education and personal well-being. Now, here's our outline for our proposal. First, we'll be going into our introduction, which is our organization and health issue. Secondly, we'll be going into our background history and risk factors. Third, we're going to be going over our current data and trends using our epidemiologic research. And fourth, we're going to be going over our innovation proposal, which is our Let's Play program. That's going to include also our supporting data. And for our conclusion, we have ending remarks. Now I'm going to be passing on to Melina for our introduction.
Thank you, CJ. The health issue presented is going to be obesity. Obesity is approximately 18.5% of a prevalence rate, which is approximately 13.7 million youth. The Health Department and Human Services recommends that children get a minimum of 1 hour physical movement to avoid negative health outcomes. Future Growth is a nonprofit organization created to help youth live healthy lifestyles as a means of combating childhood obesity. Future Growth has created a service program called Let's Play, aimed to create youth stay on the active side during this pandemic. Let's Play will give participants the opportunity to engage in different means of play according to their interests. Future Growth is requesting funding of $1 million to assist with the cost of Let's Play services used to combat childhood obesity in the midst of the COVID pandemic.
Thanks, Melina, and hi, everyone. I will now move on to discuss the background history, more specifically some major risk factors that are associated with childhood obesity. The first one is based off of socioeconomic status and residency. There is a strong association between where one lives and their access to food. For example, having less access to unhealthy food is considered a food desert, and having an abundance of access to unhealthy food is considered a food swamp. Food swamps have a positive and statistically significant effect on obesity for both children and adults. Moving on to the next main risk factor, which is COVID. In the recent months, COVID has most definitely played a role for children's obesity. For example, ever since lockdown had occurred, many schools shut down and essentially went virtual, meaning they have little to no structure in terms of physical activity, meal times, and sleep. In addition, genetics also plays a huge risk. In fact, there have been many studies that link genetics to childhood obesity, and there are 32 genes that have been proven to identify and are linked with childhood obesity. Next slide. And now Lena will be discussing some current data and trends.
Thanks, Hina. So now moving on to trends among California children. With courtesy of AskCHIS, we have a chart showing the trends for children overweight for their age that have maintained pretty consistent for the past few years. And to show 2019 has risen to a 14.8%. Who knows where it will be for 2020? The study obesity severity, dietary behaviors, and lifestyle risks vary by race, ethnicity, and age in Northern California cohort of children with obesity. Preschool children were more likely to consume sugary substance beverages and not get at least 60 minutes of exercise outside of school. School-aged children were more likely to face these issues along with greater screen time, such as like television and devices. Adolescents were lacking vegetable and fruit intake along with inadequate sleep. This research also indicates results a greater number of unhealthy behaviors exhibited from Black, Hispanic, and Asian Pacific Islander children. There were also a difference between boys and girls. Boys having excessive screen time while meanwhile girls were more likely to have insufficient exercise in comparison to boys, and lower frequent breakfast and inadequate hours of sleep. And with this final study, mental health and food consumption among California children 5 through 11 years of age, it showed a clear relationship between poor mental health and increased intake for French fries. The summary indicated that lower socioeconomic status indicates more consumption to fast food for convenience and its effects onto children. Children with poor mental health were more likely to be found with families with lower income. It also showed that parents' education level plays a role as to what a child will consume more of. Now, Denny will be introducing our innovation proposal.
Thank you, Alina. So our innovation proposal is called the Let's Play program, and we have two objectives for our program. The first objective is by the end of each academic school year, elementary school and middle school students will have the opportunity to be exposed to healthy physical activities and behaviors by at least 75% compared to students who do not participate in the Let's Play program. By the end of each academic school year, elementary and middle school students will have the knowledge to be more physically fit and apply those healthy physical behaviors compared to those who do not participate in our program. The Let's Play program is a survey-based where we hand out surveys electronically at the beginning and end of the academic school year, and it will help with putting our quantitative and qualitative data together towards our objectives. Using Qualitrix, our surveys will be anonymous, easy to fill out for children, and eco-friendly since it is all online. Our program is a weekly Friday program that takes up either an entire day or a physical education period, and each week there would be a new activity. Once they have done all the activities that we have in store for them, they will take a survey and see which activities were their favorite. Now I will pass it back to Alina for the categories.
Thank you, Denny. So, to be more inclusive and diverse to meet the needs for all of our children, we came up with different options for children to be engaged with for our program, Let's Play. For social and online, we have TikTok dance challenges, we have DDR Mats competition challenge. Amongst this activity, tasks based on physical activities, game challenges, dance breakout groups / workshops, class versus class competitions. For sports, we have weekly workshop in sports, examples volleyball, football, soccer, badminton, tennis, etc. Guest high school athletics, game challenges such as the Among Us, and Olympic Day. Also, we have categories for wellness to teach its important role in our daily lives. Wellness workshops include nutrition workshops, easy cooking, health snack workshops, mindful minute activities, body image workshop, empowering all of our children to be motivated, utilize local parks and green spaces for physical activities. Now Melina will discuss the funding breakdown for Let's Play.
Thank you. Future Growth is proposing this is a Future Growth proposal of $1 million to cover Let's Play's service fees broken down by category. For social and online, we will be utilizing 20% to cover the company's website, DDR mats, and game consoles. 25 will be for wellness. This will promote healthy nutrition. $25% will be for sports, and another 25 will be towards equipment. And then the remaining 5% will be for other needs to keep our kids safe and healthy. I'll be passing it on to Hina to discuss our leadership and staffing.
Thanks, Melina. So now I'm going to be moving on to leadership and staffing. There will be 3 crucial roles that will keep this program successful. The first one is physical health coordinators, and the second 2 are interns and volunteers. Physical health coordinators will be responsible for helping plan out and organizing events. They will help with funding. They will also be the person of contact between schools and the program, in addition to collecting data and analyzing it for future use and implementation. And they will also conduct activities and help with student involvement. Lastly, they will help with the placement of the interns and volunteers. Next slide, please. Interns and volunteers will essentially have the same role. They will be responsible for supervising the school students, explaining and hosting the events with the students, and handing out the surveys. With that, if you are interested in being a program coordinator, intern, or volunteer, and want to serve their community, they should have some sort of background in event management, public health, and recreation, or anything similar to that. Now CJ will be discussing the supporting data.
All right, thank you so much. So I'll be going over our supportive data and why the Let's Play program will benefit the California Wellness Foundation. So within our research, we were able to have the opportunity to have an interview with a mother of 3 young children and a teacher within the elementary school public system. Her name is Ariane J. Ruskal, and she helped with giving critical perspective on physical education before and during the COVID pandemic. Ariane explained how during the pandemic, her students didn't really receive any physical education, and she has seen less of her students because it's during online. Due to the max hours of screen time, her school district has become more institutionalized. This connects back to no regulations on PE or physical activities. Even before the pandemic, they only had a minimum of PE or physical activity of 120 minutes or 2 hours. Unfortunately, her school district didn't come up with any physical activities, and they are thought of by the teachers instead. She explained more on how there was a way to make her students be more physically, there wasn't really a way for her students to be more physically engaged because of that. But luckily our program Let's Play lets students to be more physically engaged and play. So within this slide, these studies basically correspond on our program to ensure that our students would grow with healthy behaviors, starting with physical activities. Short physical activities within like the social and online categories included acute physical activities, which will help with their attention rate. With like the longer physical activities, such as Olympic Day and many activities within the sports category, that will help with the students' executive function, attention, and academic performances. With our objectives to improve their behaviors, to be more physically active and more conscious about fitness, we'll have the association to have better cognitive health and physical performances. With other activities within like the nutrition workshops and mental health activities, and utilizing local spaces within the wellness workshop, our wellness categories, we know our innovation program will target ours and your objective on decreasing obesity, overweight, and help increase students' thoughts on being more motivated within their communities, to be physically active and being less sedentary. Now I'll be passing it on to Denny on our ending remarks.
Thank you, CJ. As stated previously, the prevalence of obesity in children ages 2 to 19 is 18.5%, and obesity has been known to be linked with negative health outcomes such as depression, diabetes, breathing complications, etc. On top of that, with this pandemic going on, it only adds fuel to the fire because of how much harder it is for students to engage in physical activity. Without physical activity, it negatively impacts students' health and well-being. With our program, we encourage students to have healthier lifestyles and keep them physically and mentally in shape. Thank you for your time and for listening to our proposal, and we hope that you take our innovation program into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.